morning is 7:03 on this Monday, March 2nd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. We welcome you another rainy Monday, but that's okay. The temperature is pretty nice out there. And we're going to have a magnificent Monday before it's all over. We're starting out, as we always do, on Monday morning talking about Absolute Kubota. And believe it or not, Don Hamlet is here, and it's March. But good morning.
Yeah.
Well, you could probably have gone in to do whatever Jonathan is doing, or you could come out here and take the easy road and help do the commercial.
It's much better with the company we got. It's much better for the company we got out here this morning, and nobody got to hear you singing before we got on air either. So that was a joy.
Oh boy. We start every Monday morning off with the representative from Absolute Kubota. Absolute Kubota specializes in the sale of Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, and RTVs. They also carry Exmark mowers, one of the top-selling zero-turn mowers in the country. And, of course, they're located in the same building as Absolute Rental and Supply, which specializes in tool and equipment rental. Again, Don Hamlet is with us today. Don is in sales at Absolute Kubota, which this week is open from 7 to 5. And starting next Monday, you'll be open from 7 to 6. Right, Monday through Friday. Still 7 to 4 on Saturdays. They're located at 1325 West Main in Lebanon behind Advanced Auto Parts. Just look for their big sign of the orange tractors. Their phone number, 615-449-6171. The website is www.absolutekubota.com, or you can check them out on Facebook. Well, it's always good to see
you too.
You. And you are the main two salespeople.
That's it.
And so you've been there, both you and Jonathan, for a good while, made a lot of friends. You probably have repeat sales from those. They send their friends to you. So it's a happy world.
We hope so, yes. We feel like it is. A couple of things I want to get into this morning for our farmers out there. We're stocked up good on hay equipment. If they got into the programs that are available for the farmers, they got some more discounts for those guys this year for hay equipment. We got our showroom swapped back over from our winter showroom to our summer showroom on Friday afternoon. I think we have probably some 40 different lawnmowers inside our showroom. So even though it's rainy and nasty out this morning, if you're in business for getting you a new lawnmower, you can come in and just stay inside our showroom, and we've got everything in there. We've got our outdoor, what we call it, an outdoor showroom. Everything's all lined up from smallest tractors to largest tractor. All our implements, which are Land Pride, we have post hole diggers, box blades, cutters, which some people call brush hogs, but we call them cutters, tillers, everything you can need. We're stocked up on everything right now. We're ready to go. And the good thing with either Kubota or Exmark, everything that we have right now is available at 0 down, 0% interest. Good rebates came out the other day. They came out about a week early. Normally they come out like once a quarter on the 1st, which would have been yesterday. Today, we got them last week. Those are all we sit and study those, and it's a little bit of a study for our part, so that we can make it good and easy for the customer when they come in, so that we can offer them all the best rebates that they qualify for. So,
well,
lots of things going on.
Got a lot going, no doubt, and keeping it fresh, moving, rearranging from time to time, that helps too.
People need to, when they come in the wintertime, it's tractor buying season, it's the side-by-side season and everything. Now we're kind of transitioning over to a big portion of our business right now is going to be our parts department, people coming in, buying their own oil changes and stuff like that, and filters. Parts department does a great job of keeping any kind of blades, oil filters, fuel filters, the fluid itself, or any equipment that we sell in stock all the time. If you need a part for your tractor, if it's in Atlanta and we order it before 11 o'clock today, it'll be here in the morning when we get here. When we show up to work at 7, it's actually at our building. It's already there. Parts guys just need to receive it, and they'll be giving you a call shortly that your part is there. I know a lot of the other tractor manufacturers, that's, you may be looking at a week or so. Our service guys back there, they're getting ramped up. I know I talked to Jay on Saturday afternoon for a minute. I think he'd had a few customers dropping off some things for some service this week. I would go ahead and get mine on in there too, get ahead of the curve. Maybe slip out there this evening when you get off work. Try to turn your lawnmower over, make sure your battery's good, everything. See if it needs servicing. Go ahead and get it on in now. Don't wait until mama's fussing at you about your grass being 10 inches high,
That, I think, is a word to the wise in itself right there.
That's an older guy talking to the younger guys out there, I think,
The thing about it is if you can get it done and get it in a hurry now, even though you're not in a hurry. But when you're in a hurry, you're probably going to have to wait because everybody else
done the exact same thing you did. They waited until they had to have their lawnmower to bring it in, We've got that. Like I said, we've got lots of good deals on all the tractors, lawnmowers. We do sell Red Max two-stroke equipment, which would be grass string trimmers, hedge trimmers, backpack blowers, handheld blowers. We've got a full department. I think I've talked before about a young man we have hired called Ben Spurlock. Mm-hmm. He is our turf specialist. So if you're in the business right now of keeping your pre-emergent put out, keeping your crabgrass and stuff from coming up later on, it is time to go ahead and get started on that. We do have grass seeds, all the different things that you'll need to make your yard beautiful and green.
And any just about any kind of instruction, they can answer just about any questions you've got about that too.
Highly educated.
Have some experts.
Highly educated. You may call in because you heard Don on the radio this morning, and the very first thing I'm going to do is try my best to get you switched over to Ben Spurlock because he is a pro on that, so he'll be able to answer any questions that you have.
All right. Well, good to see you again, Don. Have a good week, and we'll see you or Jonathan, perhaps Jonathan, next Monday.
I hope everything comes
an hour early.
An hour later. It'll be the same time in the mornings. It'll feel like you hadn't got enough sleep, but it'll be
like an hour.
It'll still be 7 o'clock.
All right. Thanks for being with us today. That's it for Absolute Kubota, and we're about 10 and a half after the hour. State Representative Susan Lynn is my guest for the first half this morning. She is here and ready to tell us what's going on in the state legislature, maybe among other things. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I take all of my tips from him. I do. Absolute Kubota on my lawn.
Well,
I love a pretty lawn.
Sure, he appreciates the plug there.
I do.
Where are we legislative-wise?
Legislative-wise, we're going along just great. The session's going along really well. The bills are moving through committee. There's a lot getting to my committee, which means the other committees are doing their work because they do all that work, and then they send it to finance to be funded, possibly. So the bills are going along just fine. Hey, Coleman, can I tell everybody? I keep forgetting to tell them about my legislative survey. I sent out a legislative survey, and I'm hoping that folks who received it will fill it out and send it back in. We're getting a lot back in the office. A lot of surveys are coming back.
Yeah. Is it fairly easy to do? Sometimes I get a survey that I think is kind of complicated, and I really don't want to fool with it anyway. So that's my reason.
Yeah.
Yours is fairly simple.
It's easy. It's easy. All you have to do, you get it in the mail and just indicate your answers. A lot of people send them back with extra comments, which I really appreciate. Put a stamp on it and send it back. And I'm so disappointed because I asked them to send it back postage paid and they forgot. So I really wanted it to come. I was going to pick up the tab on the postage as well to come back to us. But I'll hit that next year. I'll make sure that happens. But yeah, it's coming back and people have a lot of comments. And what I do is when we receive them in the office, we tally them. And also I call people at night and just say, hey, I got your survey. And then we have a conversation about their survey. And I want everybody to know that I send you the results back. So you will hear how people feel. And I'm not, it's so funny. I've had a number of constituents, I'm knocking on doors, and they'll say, I got the results of the survey back. You're not like those folks in Washington. They send me a survey and really all they want is a contribution. He said, you actually sent me the results back. And I said, absolutely. So I don't do that at all. I really want to know what people think. And I'll tell you, we have a couple of bills coming up that I am going to be running and co-sponsoring, such as the governor just came out with a constitutional carry bill. And I really think it does address the concerns of my constituents. And then also the governor's pro-life bill. I'm the sponsor of that bill, too. And I'm really excited to tell everybody about those two bills.
Well, again, since it wasn't your mistake, but the people who did your survey forgot to include a postage-free envelope and made it back in.
Just put a stamp on it.
It will cost you 55 cents, but other
It will.
than that, you really want to hear, and you will. They will know how it all turns out.
They will know what everybody else thinks and feels, and it's really great to get the results back, and you get a snapshot of how the district feels about so many of these important issues. I think we have about 15, I think we ended up with about 15 questions on the survey. Mm-hmm. So look for it in your mail. They've really all gone out. I send it to a representative sample of the district, so Republicans, Independents, Democrats. I want a representative sample. I really want to know how does this district feel about these issues. So.
Okay, with that, let's take our break. State Representative Susan Lynn is here. We've got a lot more to discuss when we come back on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:14. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, regular oil change, it's only $28.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal. 1673 West Main. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. An accident with injuries out here getting some attention, slowing it down. 40 eastbound. It's before you get to Fessler's. It's causing a pretty good delay westbound. People just rubbernecking, trying to get past Fessler's here on 40 west with the wrecks over in the eastbound lanes. Heavy traffic out here now. 65 south there at Trinity Lane. Heavy coming out of Wilson County as well on 40 westbound. A Prince's Hot Chicken is the original hot chicken in Middle Tennessee. Check it out for lunch. 5814 Nolensville Pike. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Since they retired, one couple has ridden every wooden roller coaster in America. What are your goals for the future? Your Waypoint financial professional can help you develop a financial plan to get there. Waypoint, your future, your way. Call your Waypoint financial professionals, Bill Bryson, David Gordon, Tracy Hay, and Tony Helton at 615-444-6548 or log on to axaonline.com. Financial planning services provided by AXA Advisors, LLC.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive right behind Tenova Hospital and see for yourself. You should move here.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on a Monday morning. It's State Representative Susan Lynn. All right, the governor just made his announcement. Has to do with carrying guns and so on. You support this. You're even going to carry it.
I am.
Have you had any feedback from constituents really yet? I mean, it's early.
No, I haven't had any feedback yet. And, we just talked about my survey. And I have to say, on my survey in the past, about 70% said that they didn't entirely like the idea. But I think that, and I've always sponsored the bill. I've always sponsored constitutional carry. And that's why I call constituents and I talk to them. And I think this bill addresses my constituents' concerns. Number one, restricted areas will still be restricted areas with this legislation. So you don't have to worry about that. If you're someone and you believe that there ought to be some areas that are restricted, but also people have a right to, their property and make decisions for their property. They can still make decisions about their own property. So number one. Number two, gun thefts. That is a huge concern in my district. Gun thefts out of cars. It happens every single day in Mount Juliet. Someone who works for me, her next door neighbor last week, 3 guns stolen right out of the car. She was very upset about that. My neighbor had 3 guns, 2 long guns and a handgun stolen out of his car. And I asked him, I said, Rocker, why did you leave those guns in the car? And he said, well, I just come back from hunting and I just didn't empty the car yet. And that's understandable. I mean, we all do that. But unfortunately, we do live in a day and age where there's a lot of gun thefts out of cars. So this bill is going to toughen gun theft laws, really give a stiff penalty for that. Then also gun crimes in general. this bill will also toughen the penalty for gun crimes. Another concern of my constituents is, well, if we don't have a carry permit system, what about if we go out of state? We can't enjoy reciprocity with other states, and that's true. Mm-hmm. Other states only give reciprocity to a state that has a permit. So the permit process will still be there. If you're someone, you go out of state, our friend here from Absolute, he was just saying how he likes to get on his motorcycle and just take off and drive and sure, travel through several states. That's understandable. You want to have your weapon with you, and he can still get that permit that says he is licensed to carry in Tennessee. He can still do that. However, for the average citizen, the citizen who has a constitutional right to carry, you will not have to go and get a gun permit. You can carry in Tennessee as long as you haven't committed an infamous crime. You can carry in Tennessee with this bill. So I really think this does a lot to marry the best of both worlds. We want to be able to enjoy our Second Amendment right to carry a weapon if we so choose. And we also want to be tough on people who might steal your gun. We want to be able to carry in other states. We want to know that gun crimes are going to be taken seriously and seriously punished. So I do think this bill it was well thought out. And
what do you think its chances of passage? Because there's going to be some who oppose this, without a doubt.
I think it'll pass. And as chairman of finance, that's why they called me in and they said, Susan, this bill's going to have a fiscal note. It's going to be about $28 million. Can we find the money to pass this bill? And I said, absolutely. So we'll find the money. We will find the money to pass this bill. We will, because of increased incarceration costs.
Okay, I'm wondering what's going to cost $20 million, but we probably don't have time to.
Oh, the increased incarceration costs.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
That will cost money to keep folks in jail with harsher penalties.
Maybe that's
and longer.
money well spent.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Because then you have your enjoyment of your constitutional right to carry a firearm. And we, the people who aren't supposed to be, your tax dollars will take care of that. Then another bill that is out there and coming up is the governor's pro-life bill, which I am sponsoring. I'll be carrying that myself through the committees. And first it'll run in the Senate. It'll run in the Senate this week. And it is a heartbeat bill, but it's a different sort of a heartbeat bill. He also took care of the problems that Speaker McNally vocalized with the heartbeat bill last year. The heartbeat bill last year took the 20-week ban on abortion out of the law. So all it did was to say that if there was a heartbeat, you cannot have an abortion. However, that similar laws have been struck in every single other state where they have been passed. And then what happens is, because they amended their law, they had to amend the law to take out a later ban, because it doesn't make any sense. If you're saying you can't have an abortion after you hear a heartbeat, how can you say you have a 20-week ban on abortion? That doesn't make any sense. So it takes that 20-week ban out of the law. When those bills are struck, that state literally has no protection on life, and there can be abortion until birth. That's what Speaker McNally was upset about. Undoubtedly, the bill wasn't any different than in any other state. It may have been struck, in his opinion, and then we would have abortion until birth. Mm-hmm. That puts us way behind where we are right now with the 20-week ban. So here's what the governor's bill does, and I have it right here, Coleman, and you can see the language. It's hot off the press. They just sent it to me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you can see there are succeeding age limits, so that if the 1 week designation is stricken, there's a succeeding designation. So it says detection of a heart week, and then it says 6 weeks gestational age, 8 weeks gestational age, 10 weeks gestational age, 12 weeks gestational age, 15, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, up to 24 weeks. So this bill has succeeding gestational ages. So if one is struck and deemed to be an encumbrance, the others should stand, or one of the others should stand. And you say, well, why do the courts look at a heartbeat bill when you can hear a heartbeat as an encumbrance for, as they say, a woman's right to choose or a woman's right to abortion? Because courts have deemed, and I've done extensive reading about this, courts have deemed that many women don't even realize they're pregnant at that point. So you've taken away their option before they even realize they're pregnant. That's why the courts have stricken a pure heartbeat bill, when you hear a heartbeat. That's why they said there was no opportunity for that woman to, quote, make that choice. So this bill is protecting life. It's having those succeeding gestational ages. And I do think it's very well thought out. The governor was really taking his time, and his staff was taking his time to look at the court decisions and analyze them and draw out of them how can we successfully protect life in Tennessee. And I feel that this bill will pass. It's running in the Senate this week, and then I will run it in the House.
Just guessing, will there be more opposition in one body than the other, more in the Senate than the House, more in the House than the Senate?
No, I think this bill takes care of those concerns. I really do. I think that, the governor, of course, respects Speaker McNally in the Senate very much. He listened to Speaker McNally. The House passed this bill last year. I voted for it. I voted for Representative Pody's heartbeat bill last year, because I do believe we should protect life as early as possible. Absolutely. But Speaker McNally felt very differently, and he kept the bill from passing in the Senate.
His influence in the Senate
yes.
kept it from, okay.
Yes, it passed the House. We sent it over to the Senate so they could vote for it, and they did not.
And he's with this one?
Yes, he was at the press conference. He stood right there. He spoke in favor of it. The governor had explained what they were trying to do. And that's the thing. When you craft legislation and you run legislation, you have to listen to all sides. You have to listen to the bill's opponents. What are you saying? How do I make sense out of that? How do I craft a bill that does address your concerns, just like the gun legislation that the constitutional carry bill the governor has crafted? I do think that he's listened to the concerns of the people who in the past would not allow that bill to pass. So I do think this bill will pass too. I wanted to tell you that tonight we will have a resolution on the floor congratulating President Trump on his being cleared of all charges and not being cleared of all charges and no longer under the shadow of impeachment. So that'll be great. And the legislator who is sponsoring that, he's a really good friend, and I'm really happy that he has this bill and he intends to take it to Washington.
Well, knowing the composition of the House and Senate, I have an idea that's going to pass.
That'll pass.
Overwhelmingly.
Absolutely. I'm co-sponsoring it, and it's Representative Andy Holt, and he's just doing a great job. And he's, like I said, he's a good friend of mine.
We got about 2 minutes left. What you say you're going to have a busy week, I think.
Well,
all of them are busy.
Oh my gosh, all of them are busy. A lot of folks from back home have been coming to see me, students, schools. What upcoming, we're having the Mount Juliet Chamber is coming to spend the day with me on the Hill, Del Webb, the Republican women, and then also Leadership Wilson. And so we're going to let them see what goes on at their state capitol. That'll be terrific. And Coleman, I want everybody to know that the blue books are in, and you simply call the office, 615-741-7462. We will be happy to send you or bring you a blue book. I'm very proud, but don't be surprised because the blue books this year are yellow. in honor of women's suffrage. It's 100 years ago that women were given the right to vote, and the yellow rose was the what the legislators wore in the lapel to indicate they were for the constitutional amendment to give women the right to vote. And there was another color rose, a red rose, that said they were against. So the blue book is yellow. And there's not that many. There's only 3 yellow blue books. We've got others in blue. So if you want your yellow blue book, you be sure to call.
Okay, well, I know that a year or two ago we had an orange book.
We did for Pat Summit.
Right.
That's right, in honor of the legendary basketball coach.
And this year they're yellow. Who knows what other color they may come up with? But it will be.
It seems it's just for women, right? Pat Summit and now women's suffrage. It seems like our Secretary of State is just doing an honor for the ladies.
Well, you wait till last, I guess, to tackle the budget. Pretty much, everything leads up to that. But that's still. Right. That's still in the workings. And
it sure is. I'm having a meeting with the speaker today to go over where the committee is at, and he and I will make we'll just have some conversation about some preliminary ideas. We don't make any final decisions though until really the end. But we're just going to go over where we are at this time.
Okay, well, have a good 2 weeks, and we'll see you 2 weeks from today, I hope, right here.
Thank you very much.
All right. State Representative Susan Lynn. That's part 1 of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Lamb Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. An accident in Williamson County. It's 840 westbound, right near the 65 split. Again, that's in Williamson County. The police are on the scene. It's really slowing down traffic flow in that area, that part of Williamson County. Bumper to bumper out here as they work this wreck on 40 East before you get to Fesslers. Traffic's just heavy out here down Ellington Parkway, Harding Pike at Davison Road. There's just been a crash there in the Belmead area. Hey, Tillman Payne has the track record and the commitment to create a courtroom that advocates for everyone. Vote Tillman Payne, paid for by friends at Tillman Payne. Sylvia Johnson, treasurer. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Hi, I'm Javen Cripps, and I'm running to be your next circuit court judge. It's been an honor to serve you as an assistant district attorney for the last 13 years. For the last 5 years, I've spent most of my time in Macon County. Judge Wooten has served us well for 21 years and is now retired. I'm confident that I have the skills and experience necessary to fill the position. Serving as your circuit court judge would be my honor, and nobody will work harder to serve with honesty and integrity. I'm Javen Cripps, asking for your vote.
Paid for by the committee to elect Javen Cripps for circuit judge, Madeline Jennings, treasurer.
You see it in their smile, you read it in their reviews, and you hear it all over town. People love the way they're treated at Wilson County Motors. Honest, upfront pricing, top dollar on every trade, and one of the largest selections of new and pre-owned vehicles around. Wilson County Motors aims to exceed your expectations in every way possible. Get your Mitchell discount at Wilson County Motors in Lebanon, just 20 minutes east of the Nashville Airport. WilsonCountyMotors.com.
To kick off the work week, rain showers are in the forecast, so make sure to pack the umbrella. Highs today will top out in the mid-60s. More rain is in the forecast for Tuesday. Highs on Tuesday will reach the mid-60s once again. I can roll out more rain on Wednesday as well. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2. It's a Monday morning, and Billy Mullinax joins us to enhance our Monday. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Coleman. Enhance.
Well, you did. You brought me my second cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But you always do.
I always do.
Good to see you.
Well, it's always good to be here.
What's the rainy weather done to you? Has it made more people come looking at them cars?
Well, it's been a really good February. So,
did that end last Saturday?
No, it actually ends today.
Oh, it ends today.
It ends today. So, you know what that means,
That
Coleman.
means your trade-in might be worth a little more.
Might be worth just a little bit more if you've got a trade today.
Well, let me tell you, if you don't already know, Billy Mullinax is general manager for Rocky Williams Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram at Mount Juliet, 600 Pleasant Grove Road. No haggle pricing. Everybody pays the same great low price.
That's exactly right, Coleman. I know a lot of people that listen, and there are a lot of people that listen to us every Monday morning. They say, well, they always say the same thing. And we're going to keep saying the same thing, Coleman, because that's what separates us from the rest of the automotive industry, is that everybody gets the same great low price. We price our cars and not our customers.
I love that line.
And
you've been saying it for a while.
I have been saying that. I have been saying that for a while because that's important, Coleman. And normally, if you know somebody. If somebody knew Rocky or was his neighbor, they could call him or they could call me and say, hey, what's the best price that I can get on this? And they would normally get a lower price than somebody walking in off the street, Coleman, and that's just not a fair, honest way to do business. So we price our cars. We start at what we have in them and price them up what we have to make in order to keep the lights and the bills paid.
Right.
And then everybody pays that same great low price, Coleman.
Well, we've got to keep saying it because we've got to make believers out of these people that are still doubting, and encourage everybody, of course, to come and see for themselves. And you've had to prove that to a few people.
Absolutely.
Now that's kind of fun, I guess.
Well, Coleman, a lot of times if people have not been previous customers, they don't believe it. They don't believe that you'll let them leave for $100 or $200. We have people that have not been customers before say, you mean you're going to lose a car deal over $200? And my only response is, you're going to pass up a great deal over $200. And if they leave, we have to let them leave, Coleman.
Well, we want to remind everybody to go to the website. There's a lot available there, and it's most people's first stop anymore.
Yep.
RockyWilliams.com.
Might see your neighbor there, Coleman.
Yes, sir. That's something else we say every Monday.
Every Monday.
You do.
Every Monday.
Might see your neighbor there. Well, that's what really. I got on there one time just to see what was there, and because you had been talking about some of these others that you had to click for an e-price or give your email to them or something. Yours is all you do. If you can find RockyWilliams.com, and that's pretty easy if you know how to do the internet.
That's right.
It's all right there, and you don't hide anything. You've got the no haggle prices right there with your vehicles.
That's exactly right, Coleman. You don't have to do anything. Just show up at the website there, and that is our no haggle price. So we don't require you to send in your information or to send in your phone number or to do anything in order to get that price. And I've mentioned this so many times before. Our website company, of course, which does work for a lot of different businesses and a lot of dealerships, they say, well, now you'll get more leads if you'll put something there that says click for your e-price. That's a great lead generator. And I said, but that may be a great lead generator, but we don't ever want to have people perceive that there's a way that they can get a lower price than what our no haggle price is.
Well, just up front, on the level, no secrets.
It's called integrity.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's a little more that goes with being a Rocky Williams customer, though. One, you've got that great showroom that's right there in Mount Juliet. You have that aquarium, that saltwater aquarium that is Billy's pride and joy. And then, of course, there's service after the sale, which is very important.
Well, sure it is, Coleman. You have to be able to service the vehicles that you sell, and we have a great service team that will take really good care of people, and So yeah, we it's a full spectrum. When you come there, we can take care of you all the way through.
All right, today is actually March the 2nd, but it's the end of the automotive month, and your trade-in might be worth just a little bit more today, and I hope that you have a great day, even if it does rain most of the day. A lot of people come to see you, end a great month, and get started off for a good March.
We're going to do it, Coleman.
Right.
See you next week.
Right, great. Thank you. Billy Mullinax, General Manager for Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet. We're about 21 minutes before the hour. And let me say that our second half is a paid political program this morning. Sean McBrien is here, and he is a candidate for a circuit judge and is here to talk about his candidacy again this morning. Good morning and welcome again.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well. Kind of getting over a cold that I've suffered with since last Thursday, but other than having to cough a little bit, I think I'm fine. Nothing to get concerned about.
I'm kind of with you.
I know that with tomorrow being election day, and we found time for you to be with us today before election, this is kind of a final push for those who haven't voted early to help them make up their mind. And in your case, you want them to help make you the next circuit court judge.
Yes, sir. It's based on the information we have and other people have told me about. Really, about 50% of the people vote early, and then 50% vote on election day. I've had a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work. I've met some great people, but part of my concern a little bit is that some of the record and some of even my record has been distorted. And the good thing, I guess, with me and talking with all these folks is if I say that something 2 weeks ago and it's the truth, I don't have to manipulate or change it around, distort it. And I think the one thing that the three candidates could probably agree on is that this position requires integrity, character, and Judge Wooten was the epitome of that. One of the things that we've run into, or I've run into since it started, is trying to change this court so it'll fit into others' experience, fit it into a criminal court, and it's just not that way. The 15th Judicial District, of which these counties are involved, has one criminal court, and that won't change on election day. We've had a criminal court judge in this district going back well over 50 years at least. When I came here, J.O. Bond was the criminal court judge, and David Durham, and then Brody Kane. And that's not going to change. He's the one and only criminal court judge. When Judge Wooten retired, he retired from the Circuit Court Division 2, and that's a civil court. Judge Clara Bird is Division 1, and I'm not running against her or anybody else just for this vacancy. And one of the things it's just facts. It just doesn't have to be changed or distorted or being disingenuous about it. As required by law, the General Assembly, through our Senator Bob Rochelle, created this additional circuit court judge, and it became effective on September the 1st, 1998. This was a civil court judge. It is not a new criminal court judge in 1998, even though Judge Wooten had some, criminal court experience. Pursuant to law, the criminal cases in this district are tried through other districts in the criminal court, which is established by the General Assembly. And this, again, I keep going back, we only have one criminal court judge. In general, what Judge Wooten, through an agreement due to the volume and just trying to assist, he handled the driving offenses, probation violations, failure to pay court costs. Now, if I look at that record, and one of my opponents sent something out last week that 88% of what Judge Wooten handled was these type of more simpler offenses, that would be correct if you just try to distort the record. But in fact, for example, Wilson County, Judge Wooten in a month may have a criminal docket 4 or 5 days, unless there may be a special set jury trial of some type or a trial. But the other 16 days he was in Wilson County, it was civil court days. He can sit, and I saw something that kind of distorted again the record. There may be 20 pages of criminal cases that they can do in a morning. He may have 3 pages of civil cases. But in all due respect to the opponents, it's, you come in, you're charged with a DUI, you check the box, you reach an agreement, everybody signs it, and it's done. That's how you do that kind of volume. But again, the volume, as we've said all along, and Judge Bird said it, I think Judge Kane said it, the volume in the civil side of it's going to change because Judge Byrd has to have help. Judge Wooten did not want to do and never participated really in divorces and those kind of things, and that's what I've done on my line. Of approximately, say, 1,200 cases Judge Wooten handled last year, I've had those cases multiple times in almost 34 years, and not just in 2 counties or 1 county. It's across the state of Tennessee, 30 or 40 different counties. And that record, because I can say it over and over in my sleep almost, because it's true. It comes from the Tennessee Administrative Office of the Courts. It's a state statute which Bob Rochelle sponsored in 1998, and that's just kind of that's just it is. It's just record without it being disingenuous and trying to represent it and make it fit into something you're not.
Do you think that your maturity, I think you're older than the other 2 candidates, and your years of experience have a lot to do with the choice that should be made here?
Well, I absolutely do. I think if you, quite honestly, a lot of rumor going around whether I even had a jury trial. In 1985, I was a junior in law school at Coleman School of Law in Birmingham, and I participated in a federal court jury trial. At that point in time, one of my opponents was maybe 7 years old, and the other was maybe 13. I've tried jury trials in federal and state courts before they started the practice of law because with Mr. Cripps, I'd been practicing 20 years before he passed and became a lawyer. And with Mr. Collins, it's been, at 15. One of the things that, we went through in the process was put on the list to go to the governor for appointment was my whole life is on record. It's a public record when we were put and cross-examined basically by other lawyers in this judicial vacancy commission. I've done, I hate to say everything because something will pop up somewhere that I've not done, but it's going to be hard to find because of the 34 years and also because of the mediations. I've worked out situations of all types and experiences that people have come before in a mediation. The only thing I didn't do was rule on their positions and sign an order just like a judge does. I didn't join Rotary. I didn't join go buy a gun and post it on Facebook to make it look like I was a supporter of Second Amendment. Been in Rotary since '92. My family and myself have been in the NRA or shooting or hunting. When I grew up, my dad was a member of the NRA. So it's easy for me to talk about that because it just is what my life's been, without distortion or being disingenuous about any of it.
It's time for us to take a break. If it's okay with you,
yes,
let's do that right here. Sean McBrien, candidate for Circuit Court Judge, is here, and we'll talk more after this break. Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:48. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota and Rental, fully staffed service center, parts department. Most of their binder services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Lampride, Red Max, Billy Goat, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still very slow as they work this wreck here in Williamson County, 840 going westbound. It's right before you get to the 65 split. All that Rutherford County traffic trying to sneak through Williamson County right now. 40 eastbound at the 192 mile marker, McCoy Lane. That's coming in from the west side on a crash. You'll see that as you come in from Dixon County. Bumper to bumper 65 south here at Trinity Lane. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is the original hot chicken in Middle Tennessee. Check it out for lunch or dinner tonight. Princess Hot Chicken, 5814 Nolensville Pike. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Do you know why Rocky Williams Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Mount Juliet sells so many cars, trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars? Well, it all starts with a simple idea. Why not give everyone a hassle-free shopping experience for their new or used vehicle with no haggling, no negotiating, and no runaround? Every vehicle on the Rocky Williams lot is marked down incredibly low with the price posted on the window. You're treated with fairness and respect every time. No pressure, just a friendly, warm, inviting staff dedicated to finding the exact vehicle you need. So Rocky Williams from your Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has become the original no-haggle, one-price dealer. Go online to RockyWilliams.com to see the incredible deals yourself. Every car and truck is listed with a no-haggle low price. This is for real, and you're going to love it. People drive for miles to get some of the lowest prices in America on their new or used cars or trucks. Go to RockyWilliams.com or come on over to our brand new spacious dealership next to Walmart in Mount Juliet.
Cumberland University Baseball is live this season on WANT and WCOR. Tune in for all of the home games and all of the Mid-South Conference matchups with Coach Woody Hunt's three-time champion Cumberland Phoenix baseball team. Mitch Walters brings you all of the action on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490. For a complete schedule, visit GoCumberlandAthletics.com. It's live Cumberland University Baseball on WANT and WCOR.
Coleman and Company, if you're just joining us, we welcome you, and we do have Sean McBrien with us this morning. There are three people vying for the judgeship that he's running for the court judge for 5 counties. Election's going to be in 3 of them, and of course, the final day to vote is tomorrow. Super Tuesday, it's called, the presidential primary and other things that's going on, but Sean is here to talk about his candidacy, and I guess we kind of want to pick up where we left off a minute ago.
Well, Coleman, like I've said before here, I'm a semi-native of Wilson County. We've lived here, down on Horn Springs Road in Wilson County since '92 when we moved back and from Wyoming. And it's you go to these events and you see people that your kids when they were little. Of course, my oldest is now 30. But you run into them and their kids are grown and they played soccer, baseball, basketball, football, church, whatever it's been. Now they're grown up. And I ran into one young man, he was trying to sell me some insurance, and he'd been my youngest son, classmate. So it's kind of humbling, but being involved like we have through our life, it's good to see people like that. It really is.
Well, you were talking about your experience before, and you've done just about everything that this job involves.
Well, if you look at Judge Wooten's, they keep tracking Wilson County, not so well in the other counties, but you look at Judge Wooten's county, they keep a pretty detailed record. If you look at 1,100, 1,200 cases he handled in a year, of those cases, 2, because I've never had a murder trial, been involved, but they didn't go to trial. Of those 2, which I think 1 went to trial, I've handled them all. So there's 1,200 different types of cases or different people that have come before the court that I've handled, it'd be 34 years in August. Same thing with Judge. If you look at Claire Bird's list of cases, I've handled all of those through the last 34 years, and in fact, that's going to change. The volume, again, like we've said. It's the record. I'm not being disingenuous about it just to get to a certain position. That's going to change because of the volume and requirements of the laws with terminations of parental rights for purposes of doing adoptions, and also the domestic case load to help her. First case I had here when I moved in with Hugh Green was a domestic case. He threw me to the alligators pretty quick, which is fine. Said, "Here's a file, go get it done," and I went in front of Chancellor Smith, Miss Barbara Webb, and got it done. But the good thing, like I said, if I say something last week, I don't have to try to remember what I said last week because it's just factual. I made a statement at the Republican Party dinner that based on the election data that I've been provided, all of us have been provided as part of this election. I'm really the only Republican. I'm the only Republican that should have qualified to run based on local rules. I voted, my first vote out of the box was Ronald Reagan. Hugh Green and I helped in Wilson County with Fred Thompson. And though I do cringe sometimes when President Trump talks too much, I agree with his policies and what needed to be fixed. And you can look at my record. It's there. I participated in the Republican primaries. I voted every time in the general. And I didn't distort that in the last 60 days in order to fit, this position. I just haven't. And again, that makes me feel very comfortable in what I say because just because I say it, I can reach in a file, I can reach off the website out of the state statute and show it to you.
Well, we do hear about the heavy docket and getting through this, and we've talked about this before, Sean, and there are some cases you don't know are going to be settled before they come to court, sometimes just right before they're scheduled, I guess. But as far as expediency, as far as moving along as fast as you can, you might want to address that.
Well, again, if you look at if Judge Wooten comes into court, or any of the ones that handle criminal court, they may have a 20 or 30-page docket that day. But within the ranges of the law, they fill out a form when you reach an agreement. They check a few boxes, write in what may be the special terms for probation or court costs and those things, and they sign it. If it was so time intensive for those, you couldn't get it done in a morning or a half a day, and that's why for example, you look at Wilson County. That's why he can get the volume of those criminal cases, those simple vehicular type charges and probation violation things, done in a couple, say 3 or 4 days, versus the remaining time of 15, 16 days. It's civil, and so if you got a 2-day page, you got a 2 to 3 page list of civil cases. Yeah, that's because we're getting ready to have a 3-day trial or a 2-week medical malpractice or a construction case with a jury. And all those things I've done. And it just is factual. And so people have, like I said I didn't have jury trials, which either the fact is, when they don't know and they listen to somebody that doesn't have a clue, or I'll probably beat them in court and I'm not still happy about it. So it's just the way it is.
Well, you mentioned your family the last time you were here, and you have some people that a lot of us know, even though you went away for a while, Wyoming or wherever.
Well, like I said, I'm a semi-native because Mom, the Couch Palmer family is here from this area. I've been here, and I'm way back into the 1800s. My dad wrote a book on the 7th Tennessee on the Civil War because they happened to go through some paperwork and find some discharge information from my, I guess it'd be great-great-great-grandfather. My grandmother, Frances Couch, was a teacher here for years and years and years. That's how she helped, helped her support the family. Clay Couch, Linda Couch, John Couch lives over in Antioch, but he went to Castle Heights. My aunt was raised here, played basketball here, and she lives up in Philadelphia. And then when we moved here in '92, we went to Emmanuel Baptist Church. We now go to Glade Baptist Church now, but with boys, you got children in everything, and Boy Scouts to soccer. My daughter went Tennessee Olympic development team, so we were on the road all the time, but also with the community. I didn't just join. Like I said earlier, the Rotary in the last 60 days, just so it made it look a little better. I've been in there since '92 when we moved back here. So and one of the things I think I've taken, win, lose, or draw on this thing, there are a lot of good people out there. I have met a ton of people. It's hard to go up to a table, eating breakfast, and do that first cold call, but after that, I can talk to you the rest of the day. And it's great. And the thing I see versus what you hear on the news is different. There's great people out there. There's great people that are concerned about their constitutional rights or their children or our community. And that's been a fantastic experience.
Well, as far as handling cases, justice served. I guess everybody wants mercy, but talk a little bit about making those decisions.
It's Judge Wooten, Judge Kane. They have veterans courts, they have drug courts, and they work as hard as possible to keep people out of the system within the parameters of their sentencing or what that person's done or not done. They have a drug court. It's not something that was established 30, 60 days ago. It's been there for years. Great people running it. But people come in and there's still people that need to go to jail. And to protect the community, to get them off the streets. That's what a judge is there on these more simpler things. And even though some of the more serious crimes that he does handle, you got to follow the law. And some people just got to go to jail. But these gentlemen, both of them, and these are big shoes with a lot of integrity and character to fill with Judge Wooten. He had mercy. He took where he could help people, but he followed the law. And I think that's part of going back to the integrity and character the shoes we have to fill. That's why I'm just not going to be disingenuous about the facts, who I voted for, or the work I've done, and what I've involved in the community. I'm just not.
All right, we're in our final minute and a half here, but a reminder, of course, I think just about everybody knows that early voting has ended, and the final say is tomorrow. And as you said when you began here, in the neighborhood of 50% of the people vote early, which means the other 50% will be voting tomorrow. And you've got all day tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And even the voting is not as restricted. The voting places are not as restricted as it once was. So it's pretty easy. And I know that you want them to consider you and make that X for Sean Ryan.
And based on it'll be 34 years in August. My experience speaks for itself, and I just ask the folks to vote, get as many people they can out to vote for me on the Republican ticket.
All right. Well, we thank you for being with us. I think this is maybe the third or fourth time you've been here on my program.
It is.
And we appreciate you getting your message out through us. And I guess I got your flyer the other day, which says there's no substitute for experience, and that you reflect our values, and I think you've tried to tell everybody that this morning. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.
That is going to do it for Monday. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. And until then, I wish you a magnificent day.